Bean Soup Times is on a mission to create dope content that entertains, educates, and empowers the Black community. We keep our ear to the ground, we ask, we report to you. We help Black people to share their message. We promote real dialogue. We provide a platform to help give voice to the voiceless. We educate you on how to shop smart. Our passion is to inform you about Black events, businesses, organizations, and entertainers. We are Black owned. We are Black Chicago. We are the award-winning Bean Soup Times.
Y'all started off with just a lesson, man. Appreciate it.
Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.
My name is Dolphin Norris. I'm one of the owners of Dan's Soul Food and Cafe, located at 2523 West 79th Street. Best in the Midwest. My partner is my mother. She's the oldest, wisest living person I know. She can look at her food and tell you if it's right or wrong. She wants three things. She wants her food to be good, she wants her place to be clean, and she wants excellent customer service. Well, we've been surviving the pandemic better than ever. We've shut down the sit-down part. However, our carry-out, Uber Eats, and DoorDash has been up about 20-30%. But the main thing is that we're servicing people correctly, making sure they got good food at a good price, and they're comfortable with it, and they know that our place is clean.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Adeline Bracey, the Mississippi Queen. I have been in this neighborhood for 46 joyful years. And I've been coming to Dan's Soul Food because his food is so good, I closed my restaurant to start eating here. And I'm here today because of the $6 holla. This chicken is so succulent. Tender, juicy, and the flavor, oh my goodness. Hey people, if you haven't been here, you must. It is a must if you live in the city of Chicago, especially on the south side. But if your car travel to the suburbs or wherever, come into the city. Enjoy Dan's Soul Food and Bakery. And tell them I told you so. My name is Adeline Bracey, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Linda Hardison, and I've been coming to Dan's Soul Food for years on top of years. Listen, this is the place to come when you want some soul. White folks, if y'all don't have no soul, come on down. You're going to get it here, I promise you. If you don't get it in your wiggle, you'll get it in your plate. Just kidding. But this is good food, and we just want to thank our sister for being here for so long. She's a staple in our community, and we just thank you for that, sister. All right, y'all, have a blessed one. Come on down and eat at Dan's Soul Food.
Greetings, 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 peace. Assalamu alaikum. What's up, brothers and sisters? This is your brother, your friend, Tori Muhammad. This is a special edition, man. We usually don't do a show on Saturdays, but I'm telling y'all, man, I could not wait. I could not wait until Monday or next week to introduce to you all some amazing brothers that are doing something that is not only beautiful, incredible, but so relevant to the times that we're in right now. And you all have to know what they're doing. You all have to be plugged in so that you can get plugged in yourself or plug in somebody who needs to be plugged in to what they're doing. There was a question asked maybe, I don't know, 6,000 years ago. It was a question: who will rebuild the wasted cities? That question was asked by one of the prophets of God. And they were not talking about the times they were living in. They were talking about a time that we're living in right now. Of course, you all understand the concept of prophecy, right? So we're not going to get too deep into it, but we can look around at our cities today. We can look around in our communities today and see that there's a mighty work that needs to be done to rebuild the wasted cities. So we have some incredible brothers who are talking about that very thing. And what's so valuable, what's so exciting, what's so incredible about it is that they're not just talking about it, but they're actually doing it. So I want to bring on right now two brothers. We may have another one joining us real soon, but we have Brother David Muhammad and Brother Antonio Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Man, we got the Muhammad trifecta.
How you doing, boy?
Man, so I still hear a little echo. How close are you all?
You can hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Yeah, keep that. Just what you did, Brother Antonio.
Okay.
So we can still hear you, but I see your mic is off, so we can hear you without the echo.
That's what I did, yeah.
Man, so first of all, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Brothers, man, I'm so excited to talk to you all. I've been hearing about the program you all are doing. But first, before we get into the training center, just tell us a little bit about yourselves and tell us a little bit about Genesis Construction.
Okay, man, I appreciate it, Brother Tory. Of course, I would like to begin all things in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, my name is Brother David Muhammad. I'm the one of the principals, of Genesis Construction Training Center. But I'm also one of the principals of Empowered Joint Venture Construction Company, as well as Empowered Construction Employees Association, which is a contractors association. I'm, originally from New York, came here to Chicago in 2015 we always had goals of nationalize the construction training program. So this is our headquarters. So we came here, with that in mind. We was doing some great, some really good work in New York, with the construction and the construction training program. But so I'll stop there. I don't know how deep you want me to go back now, but for the most part, that's generally it, man. Our whole purpose is to pool another resources. It's the economic blueprint, to pool the resources and use it to build schools, hospitals, businesses, for the good of our families, ourselves, and our people. So that's what it is.
Man, beautiful. I love that, brother. That's our pledge, man. Many of us old school, we came in with that pledge to build farms, schools, hospitals, international trade and commerce for the good of ourselves, our family, and our people. Come on, man. So, all right, Brother Antonio, give me a little bit about your background.
Oh, man, all praises due to Allah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. En el nombre de Allah, benéfico y misericordioso. Brother Antonio, my background is so extensive, but I want to try to make it short. Born in Panama, Central America. Grew up in a country where education is free. You can become a doctor and you don't have to pay. So I get many trades under my belt. And at the same time, I was longing to give what Almighty God Allah gave me to others. So 7 years ago, when I came back from Cuba, from taking over students to become doctors, I met Brother David in the lobby of Mas Mariam, and that's where we start. And from that day, we've been rolling to build Genesis. Here in Chicago, this like what you said not too long, is the base, the National Center. Right now, I'm the president of the union. and we're working towards that. You see, the most important thing in my working to help our community is to obey. And if I don't mistake, 4 years ago in the farm, the Honorable Mr. Luz Farrakhan personally told Brother Dave, Brother Late, and myself, the brother is already, making his transition, but he is part of at the beginning group. The minister told us that he was waiting for Genesis to start rebuilding the wasted cities. So that was our marching order, and from that day we've been, in the trenches, making things happen. So this is part of it.
Man, beautiful. And we just, Brother James, are you there? Can you hear
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, beautiful. We got the Ford the hard way, Muhammad squared.
Yes, sir.
So, Brother James, man, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we're going to talk about what you all are doing collectively with Genesis Construction Training Center.
Yes, sir. Well, myself, I got involved in the trades about 20 plus years ago in 1999. I got involved with the pre-engineering program, an apprenticeship actually, with through CHA, through one of the local unions. And I started off as a engineer trainee, and I was blessed to be around a lot of older brothers who were very passionate about, giving me their knowledge and helping me along. And I definitely benefited from that through the years. And Allah definitely blessed me to come in contact with people like that throughout my development as a trainee and as a young journeyman. So when I came in contact with Brother David, and he expressed to me what he was doing and the concept behind it, I could definitely identify, because if I had not come in contact with people like that who were willing to share with me their knowledge and help me to grow and develop, I wouldn't have the knowledge base to do the things that that I'm doing now. After about 10 years in the trade, I started my own business, Expedience Heating and Cooling, and it's just going on and progress from there. But the actual having a good start and a good base, and someone who can actually show you the way, is something that we're lacking in our community, and that's definitely where the program comes into play, because it gives us a greater access to actual the trades and mentorship, where we can be introduced to the trades and actually a clear path and moving forward in the trades.
Man, I love it, brother. So, man, for you all who are listening, first of all, each of these three brothers have an extensive background, experience, and not only are they excelling in their craft, but now through the message, through the instruction, through the encouragement, and through the brotherhood, pooling your resources together to not just build for the sake of building, but to teach other people and to help strengthen our communities, right? You got some folks, and more power to them. They may just trying to figure out how to build mansions, somewhere on the island somewhere for a few of their friends, and not care about the communities. But you all have pooled your resources to provide some training now for our community to help build. So talk a little bit about that, and talk about, what's your core inspiration for doing
it? Yes, sir. If I may go first, if it's okay. My inspiration, brother Jory, came from twofold, I should say. When I first came into the nation in 1992, which, listening to the minister, I mean, I was out there, I was on the, streets doing my thing, and when I heard the minister, after hearing him you know, hearing that word, hearing his voice for so long, I just couldn't continue to do, you know, what I was doing. But and I had to make a choice of getting into, but leaving the streets alone. I had a child on the way, my first child on the way, and it was a scary feeling because I did not have, you know, no skill, no trade, no profession. You know, unfortunately, I didn't have too many examples around me to show me the path to that. So and if I may just go back a little further and bring it all together, but the most scariest period in my life was when I was coming out of high school, when I was finishing up on high school, and you know, I had, you know, my mother, you know, and she raised boys, and you know, and she was a strong woman, so she would say to us, man, when y'all finish school, you know, I want y'all to, you know, begin your exit plan, you know. And now for me, not having a creative mind, it was scary because I didn't know anything. I didn't have any direction, you know. So unfortunately, I wound up, you know, when I finished school, I wound up going into the streets to be able to start, you know, making earning, you know, some money for myself. But that period there was darkness for me, not knowing that it's time to be a man, right? At that time, I had no affiliation with nothing about the nation. This was, we talking about like in '87, you know, and so, you know, not knowing nothing about manhood, but knowing that shit, I'm about to be 18, it's time to be a man, but not knowing how to be a man. So I wound up doing what most of us do. I know I have to, you know, I have to begin to make my exit plan out of my mother's house. So I have to, you know, get some type of income. At that time, I lived in, you know, near the Kennedy Airport. And so I was calling, you know, trying to get, you know, a job. And they would tell me, oh, you can get a job. What type of experience do you have? And I had no experience, you know, but even with that, if I would have got the lowest job, the lowest paying job would have been $3.35 an hour at that time, which was the minimum wage. And I know with $3.35 an hour, it would not have allowed me or afforded me the opportunity to get my own place, to make an exit plan. So again, I repeat, you know, I wound up, you know, in the streets and getting money that way. You know, I was in the streets, and that little street money was helping paying my way through school, through college. But I got in trouble, you know, just like everybody else, and you know, facing a little time, and I you know, came home and I went back and doing the same thing because again, I just had no clue of how to be able to make a way for myself. Again, now I'm bringing it all together. In 1992, after meeting, you know, hearing, you know, Minister Farrakhan, and you know, coming into the nation, do for self concept. But in 99, that decision, in 92, I'm sorry, that decision was, I used to buy, you know, tapes from one of the brothers, and he would say, man, brother, when are you coming into the mosque? And I said, brother, when I get myself together, because my whole idea was get up enough money, get my business going on, and then come into the nation. I don't have to worry about no job at that time. So when he said that, I said, brother, I got to get myself together. He looked at me and said, well, that's where you get yourself together, in the mosque. And, you know, I'm like, you know, I had one of them duh moments, like, duh. Because I remember the minister saying, man, if you're going to get, you know, you still, you know, if you want to get healed, you go to the hospital.
That's right.
You want to get yourself together, you come to the mosque, you know. And so, you know, I made my last trip. And I said, that's it, man. I can't do it no more. That was a sign for me. I came into the mosque, but I said, I made a prayer. I said, Allah, if I come into the mosque, I'm stepping out there on faith. I have no clue what I'm going to do, you know. And when I made that decision to join the nation, to come into the mosque, the same day, as Allah is my witness, the same moment, I got a call from a friend of mine. He said, hey, man, we can join these construction coalitions, right? And the construction coalitions in New York is basically, from what I hear, they had here in New York, was pretty strong. And the coalitions is where the community members get together. And if you working in our community, which is mainly white folk on these union jobs and big jobs, if you work in our community, you're going to hire our community. If you don't hire our community, we're going to shut you down. And that's what we did. We shut them down. So he said, man, you can come into the, the construction coalition and you can get a job. And that's that moment. I went into the coalition. I got a job. This was in 92, January 92. I remember the same time I made that decision. So Allah showed me, if you make, take a step towards you, him, he'll take two towards you. So he blessed me, with a job. I was working in Kennedy Airport, making $20 an hour, which was sufficient now as compared to $3.35 an hour. Now $20. Yeah. But the funny part about it was I was waving a flag. Waving a flag and with a shovel was a union job and digging ditches. Wasn't no skill behind that, but it was, it was paying the bill. And every time I would go look, to see what the tradesmen were doing, they would turn their back on you, white folk. They'd turn their back on you. They didn't want you to learn. So I'm like, wow, this is weird, So in any event, I didn't keep those jobs too long, not because of my work ethic, because I had very, very good work ethic. I was real good, but because they had to hire me, and they treated me like trash. They would try to talk to you like trash, and I just wasn't built for that. I'm not built for that. So I would get laid off here and fired here. So I said, after a little while, I said, we're gonna get our own company, do for self. So I'm in a mosque now about 4 or 5 years, and all I'm hearing is do for self, do for self. So I said, man, we're gonna do for self, man. I said, but I also heard where the teaching says, man, if Allah bless you with something, to see something and understand something, then I'm 5 years into the training now, So I said, well, we're gonna make it happen. However we're gonna make it happen, we're gonna make it happen. But we got faith that Allah, again, if you take a step towards him, he'll take two towards you. So I decided at a certain point, so I went to school for building construction management, because I seen in my community and in the construction coalitions and in the mosque, we had skilled tradesmen. I said, but we didn't have the companies. I said, so I knew we were lacking the back office. We didn't, we had, that's where our main, lack was. So I said, I'm gonna go. I went to school for building construction management. I had no, they tell me I didn't have the experience, but I convinced them to let me in and went to NYU. It was a continuing education program. And we went to the continuation program, graduated in April of 99. No, I'm sorry, February of 99. And by April 99, we started the construction company, Genesis Enterprise Construction. We got the brothers, those in the mosque who were skilled tradesmen. And I just started going, after contracts, Brother Tory, and started going after contracts. We were blessed. One of the brothers in the mosque who was a site manager. And I'm sorry if I'm getting long-winded, but I think that by me mentioning it, we got people in positions and, who we can see how we can help each other. So that's where I'm going. So we had one of the brothers who was a site manager, and he heard me having a conversation about that I'm about to get my, start the business and get my license. He said, when you do, just come see me. Right. And so when I went to see him, he said, man, I got an opportunity for you to bid on a contract. And we landed a contract. The first contract was about $25,000 contract. And that was good. So I got a welder and got the brothers together. We performed the contract and we got work from there. We kept on getting work. And I mean, this is mainly 90% of our work was government contracts, because he worked for a HUD site. And so we was getting city work, city, state, federally funded contracts. We're getting all the work and employing the brothers. And but we got to a point, and I'll close it out with this. We got to a point where in 2000, we had so much work. Not 2000, I'm sorry, 2010, 2011, we had so much work, but we had very little skilled tradesmen. See, in the coalitions, it was filled with not skilled tradesmen, but just laborers, just like it was, And so, you know, we had a few in the mosque in New York. Chicago has a lot, but we had a few in the mosque in New York, but we didn't have enough to, you know, but we ran out of skilled tradesmen. So now, you know, the work slowed up. But I said, man, we're going to start a construction training company, and we're going to produce our own tradesmen. So we got certified as a training provider, NCCER curriculum, in 2010. In 2010, we got certified as a master trainer, which, you know, basically can certify tradesmen to teach and give credentials to their trade. And then we got certified as a training provider. And but as we went and started doing these, start training, I mean, you know, so much things open up as far as being able to teach the people a trade,
right?
But doing it from a conscious level, doing it from being a trained, you know, FOI, doing it from having a thorough, you know, well, I want to say a thorough knowledge of self, but a sufficient amount of knowledge of self. But when we brought that teaching, and at the same time giving them opportunity, the effect that it had on the people that we were teaching was amazing. It was amazing. It sparked in them inspiration, and they would follow us. I mean, initially we was doing OSHA training, so we would teach, you know, in a classroom for, you know, 10 hours. We was teaching, like one time we taught 150 people, you know, and just teaching them construction safety initially. And when they finished, man, they would follow us. We would go do another training, and we did, you know, a lot of training, but they would follow us because they wanted us to keep feeding them what we were feeding them, which was knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and a high civilization. You know, Islam, but not, you know, as a religion. Yeah. So and so, you know, I saw that we had something special, and what we was doing something that was special. And from that point forward, we started teaching the construction trades, right? Carpentry, masonry, and painting in New York City Housing Authority. We started with that. Again, the same effect. Wherever we would teach, wherever we would go, we would experience the same effect of people just loving the instructors, because the majority of the instructors, if not all of them, everywhere we taught were believers, and they taught with the same spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is love and a desire to see us get these trades, you know. So we were very, very successful, and we came to Chicago, and I was had an unexpected conversation with, you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan somewhere in around early 2014. It could be late 2013. He came to New York. And I was in the room. I came in a room, you know, to have a conversation with the Supreme Captain, you know, our Supreme Captain, and I ran into the minister. We started having a conversation. I was telling him about some of the stuff that we were doing, because at that point we had a lot of people working. We was they was getting paid, you know, prevailing wage rates, you know, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80 an hour, those type of rates. And we was, you know, doing a training program at the same time. And I was just so full, and I was letting them know everything that I was doing, you know. And he said, man, he said he had wanted me to come and present the program before the executive council. And so it was about a year later before I actually came to Chicago. But I always had my mind set, honestly speaking, on coming to Chicago, because the program has always been, you know, a national. We always had a national agenda in mind. I remember hearing the minister saying, and I'll close it out here, that the messenger, you know, told him, you know, that he wanted him to think for the whole, and that's what we, you know, he's my teacher, you know, and so I adopted, you know, that mentality. The same thing. I said, man, whatever we do, we're going to do it for the whole. And so that's what we is. That's the name of Genesis. It means, you know, it's a few more things to it, but I'll stop right there. It'll come out later.
Man, I love it, brother. David, thank you for that. Man, the perspective you're bringing is so important, so that people that are listening will understand, man, what you all are introducing. So, man, of course, you got an orientation to come teach and train brothers, sisters on how to get into the industry, learn a trade. Brother Antonio, I want you to talk a little bit, of course, from your perspective, why this program is so important. And tell us a little bit, man. I heard you can go, a little bit deep in the water. Talk a little bit about that.
Brother Torre is like, I'm full, but at the same time, I'm humble enough to say our praise is due to Allah. See, before Brother Antonio was in the Nation of Islam, I have practically the same life Brother Dave had, but on a different level, in an international level. But in 1986, I hear through the radio in Panama, Colombia Barn, a man was speaking to the multitude in Panama. I didn't know who he was, but I knew the person was so strong that I said, man, this guy is strong. And I grew up with a mother that taught us that God was a man.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear the Honorable Mr. Luz Farrakhan speaking in Cologne, the state in Panama where I born, was getting ready to do something that was not really good. My crew, I always have my own business. But after I hear the minister, I decided we wasn't going to do what we were going to do, because I tell him, I said, we just finished listening to God. So if we do anything wrong, we won't die today. So regardless, to put it short, that was in 1986. But in 2000, if I don't mistake, no, it was in 1999. I was standing in Stony Island in a car wash. The one that was his name Quality Car Wash, because we have some of those car wash in those days. And Brother Haroon was washing his car, and he invited one of the brothers from Panama. The brother, say he couldn't go, he'd have to go to his church. But then I was a little offended, because I said, well, you have to be lying. You don't own a church. You don't get that 10% when you just tell the brother you don't want to go. So before anything, Brother Haroon turned around and invited me. But the brother from Panama, he knew my street name. And he said, hey, Bigfoot, we got to go to church tomorrow. And I said, wait, from when you talk to me like that? Well, to put it short, I looked at Brother Haroon and I think I might be there. And I went, and it was Sunday. The marches start 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember?
Yeah.
When I went, Brother Haroon waited for me. Took me inside, sit me down in the first row in the back. So I'm there. But then when the minister came out, I didn't know. I never saw the minister before, honestly. But I was watching all the setup. But when the minister came out, everybody like Takbir, Allahu Akbar. But how we do it. Everybody stand, I stand, but I like, wow, this is crazy. But what blew my mind was when the minister, he tell everybody to sit. I was looking towards the babies. And not even the babies was making noise. I said, man, this guy got some juice. Well, to put it short, that same day, our praise is due to Allah. The minister was speaking, and I remember in 86, I said to myself, I need to know who is this guy, and I need to help him, because what he was saying is 100%. And he was talking in Panama, a country that was controlled by the United States, because the Panama Canal was part of the Louisiana Treaty. So if you did born in the Panama Canal zone, you was an American. And if you did born in Panama side, you was a Panamanian. Many people don't know that, like John McCain, Hogan, they born in Panama, but they're Americans. I say that to come to this point. I hear a man talking. Look, my father was rough. But my father was not even a baby beside the minister. So I knew already this man was special. So I said, man, one day I got to meet him. But in 1999, I was listening to the minister in the mosque. I didn't know he was the same person. But the more he expressed himself, he said something, and it came back to me. I said, man, this is the same brother was in Panama in 1986. So when he keep on, man, I don't want to go tears come out, that good stuff, because it's like you start cleansing your mind because I know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So make it short, I went and shake his hand, and I told him who I was and where I hear him. He said, yeah, I was in Cologne, so and so and so. So I said, I need to help you. From that day on, I'm a FOI. So everything else dropped, and I keep on growing in the nation, getting the teaching. And my first language is Spanish. I speak Spanish, but I never been in Spain. We speak it in English, we never been in England. So we get it through slavery. So I use what Almighty God Allah blessed me to learn from childhood, that is a language that is foreign to all of us, to help our own people, help myself too. So when I met David and I hear what he was doing, it's so, I would say funny, but Allah works in mysterious ways, because I just came back, like I said, from Cuba, and I had to tell the Supreme I was going back to Panama, because I couldn't see myself struggling to try to give what I knew I had, because I got a lot of trade. And Brother Dave, he bear witness. Whatever I said to you, what I do, I'm an underwater diver, I'm a welder, HVAC, I'm a high voltage electrician. Okay, I have other trade under my belt, because I'm born in a country that education is free. Trade school, you come up with 4 trades. So I was so excited. I always want to give it, but I realized that it was a problem, because the lack of love and the lack of respect, I want to put it like that I couldn't get in base of what I was trying to give. It's like I was trying to take something when I was trying to give something. You see? So when I talked to Dave and we start moving around, I could see where with my brother, since he put this beautiful organization and school together through the teaching of the Most Honorable Muhammad, it was easy, because he used the same books I was reading. So it was not a problem. You see, so one of the biggest challenge I have was 2 years ago, if I don't mistake, you can help me, Brother Dave. I was in New York. I was called into New York to help train an instructor to give the ESL program. ESL program is the English and Spanish program to train students. We went to that was in Hempstead, New York. When we went there, the high school, they have a dropout. I think it was what, 70%?
Somewhere around it.
Like 70 to 80% dropout. And they were in a building where they used to send the worst of the worst. I'm talking about they used to throw people through the window from a second and third floor.
Wow.
But when we arrived to that building, that edifice, and we came with Genesis, the methodology that we used was so deep and profound that we had, I think it was like 90% or 95% consistency. People start coming to our program, ain't no more fight, because we in control. You see, and we make them understand who they are, not yourself, respect for one another. And I get to give the class in English and Spanish, and that was good. So even it was a little rough at the beginning. Thanks for the teaching of the Most Honorable Muhammad, giving coming to us through the Honorable Salute Farrakhan, and the concept of you want for your brother what you want for yourself. Then it wasn't no selfishness in giving my time, and from I think it was 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I ended up staying there practically 1 year. But what we did was so beautiful, brother, that I pray that we can do the same thing here because we need it. ICO, our brothers and sisters, it's not that they are lazy, but when I take nobody's job, I knew the value of the sweat and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of a human being when they study something. So I always try to uplift or take anybody to a higher level. It bothers me when I can give a proper estimate, because I don't want to undercut nor overcharge. You see, I want to be fair all the time. I say that, brother Troy. I hope I'm mentioning your name properly, but you know my accent.
Tori, yes, sir. That's good.
I say that because look, there's so much we got to do and be doing by the mercy and grace of Allah. You know, I want to try to make it shine on Brother James for me, but I pray that anyone that listening to us in this moment, remember that nothing belongs to you. Everything is given to you by a creator. And the creator give it and he take it. And if you don't learn that money is the root, the love of money is the root of all evil, then you know you're working for. Humbly, I can say to you, brother Troy, that we've been in this trenches working hard and uplifting our people, taking them to a different level, seeing sisters that used to call themselves B, now they call themselves queen. You know, sisters that didn't have nothing, now they have companies. And we, anytime we see them, we say our praises due to Allah. We have a sister, she working right now in the farm with the minister for years now. And that sister she from Alger Garden. So there's a lot of good, you know, memories we got and we can talk about. But personally, I pray that after today, we can keep on helping one another to make it better.
Brother Antonio, Brother David, Brother James, you all are, I'm really being moved and inspired by what you all are bringing. And I hope people are hearing this. We're talking about Genesis Construction Training Center, a center being for educating folks on the construction trade. And what you all are hearing is people, brothers who, this is not an idea. This is not something that they trying to figure out. They've already been teaching and training folks and have the skill sets to not only do excellence, but to create jobs and opportunities for other people. So what you all are hearing is not just Black excellence, but you all are hearing Black love. You all are hearing the driving force behind what they are doing. So man, I'm so pleased and excited, man, to be hearing about it and for what you all are going to be doing on the 18th, the orientation. So Brother James, definitely wants you to chime in. And as you give your remarks about what moved you to be a part of it, talk a little bit about some of the things that folks are going to be able to get in the training center and, and how important it is.
Yes, sir. Well, in short, in terms of what motivates me, I was blessed from the beginning. Allah saw fit for my parents to put me and my siblings in Muhammad University of Islam when the Honorable Louis Farrakhan opened it back up in '89. And with that in my foundation, there's no way that I couldn't see the value and the benefit of something like this, for our people. And I also come from a background of tradesmen as well. My grandfather was a brick mason, a tuck point, and he had his own business. My father was a pipe fitter. So, with those things in my background, I definitely see, the raw and actual benefit of the trades and of us just establishing and being independent and having a skill set or billable skill, as we say sometimes. And this program is absolutely structured to promote that and empower, just anybody, but specifically our people, in a point where we can learn and actually figure out or see or get pointed out how we can benefit from what we learn. And I think that part is key. Brother David touched on early in his story how he was a laborer, and when he would go to the different tradesmen and to try to learn something, how the Caucasian tradesmen would turn their back on him. I've heard that story numerous amount of times, and how brothers account their experience in the trades. Me myself, I never experienced that, because I said earlier, I was blessed to come in contact with a lot of brothers who just wanted to share because they did experience that. So this program is structured where we, as our community can get access to not only the knowledge, but the experience, the know-how, so we can take what we learn and take it back to our community and be an actual definite benefit and help build that community up so we can move forward.
Man, I love it. Brothers and sisters, if you're just tuning in, like Sister, who was that? Sister Eunice Muhammad. Thank you for tuning in. Sister Donna's, Brother Ahmed, Sister Sandra. Man, you're listening to Brother David, Brother Antonio, and Brother James, all Muhammad. Of course, as I like to say in situations like this, we have no relation and we have all relation. By that last name, right? We're not blood brothers, but we are blood brothers. And so, man, they're giving us the update about a new training center in Chicago where folks can come and get training in a variety of trades. So whoever wants to take this one, but talk a little bit about some of the programs, some of the training, give us some of the details. So for folks who are tuning in, they can get plugged in.
Yes. You guys want me to go, or one of you guys want to talk about it? You can go ahead. Okay, we go with it.
No, please.
We'll go with it. I'm the one who talked the least, but I'm forced to talk the most right now. Yeah. So on we have Antonio mentioned it earlier. We have done programs here in Chicago in the past. When we first came, we've been fortunate to do a few construction safety training programs, and we did in all Gale Gardens. We got access, with our sister there, Bernadette, who's, been very, very warming and welcoming to us. But we had ran programs out of there. We had ran HVAC, which Brother James did an awesome and magnificent job.
Brother David, give people a little synopsis who are not from Chicago or not from the South Side and don't know Oakdale Gardens.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to let either Antonio or Brother James give that. And the reason being is that they can tell it better than I. I'm from New York, but I know what I experienced. But I'll let them give that. Let them tell. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know, Brother James, you want to start or what?
No, you go ahead, bro. You go first.
Put it like this. Look. Honestly speaking, I love Oakdale Garden.
Yeah.
You see, where I'm born, Oakdale Garden would be like a playground. Because I'm born in a country where ain't no really, we didn't have any type of freedom of speech like here, and you gotta have a warrant to go into your house. We are born, the type of system that we grew up was far more strong in that level. Where the army used to go in and try to get us because it was not a drive-by, it was a buy. So it was them against us, and nobody running. And so Alligator Garden for me was, I love it because I could see what the system was doing with beautiful brothers and sisters, kings and queens. You see, so I already knew, but the beautiful part of Alligator Garden, it was dealing with the community directly, and the brothers who really control the area. We have to put it like that. They come and check out the training. They sit down for the orientation, and when they hear what we have to say and where we was coming from and how we treat them, they give us a green light. Alligator Garden over training school, they come in Alligator Garden a safe haven where anyone could come, and nobody was shut off, nobody was hurt. It was a complete neutral zone because they see the type of love that we as black men was bringing to the community. No disrespect, okay, no abuse, no trying to take advantage, okay, because we already knew where we come from. You see, and that is it. Since we know where we come from, we didn't just drop from the sky. I was a drug dealer, international one. Okay, I know they will say something, so I already know. The type of love, brother. Look, it's so beautiful.
Hey, so beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. But I just wanted to make sure people understood that Oakdale Gardens is a very impoverished neighborhood. It's encapsulated, and from one very small area, one quote unquote block, because it's not set up block like we normally know, but from one area to the next, every probably 20 houses or 50 houses, it's another street organization that controls it. And you don't just go in Oakdale Gardens unless you show that you plugged in, or you come in showing that you love and respect the community. So that's the environment that they in. So, and I go in there with me and Brother Yaya and a couple of FOI, you know, every Saturday we come and hit in the garden. So we know exactly what you all were faced with. And to do that, I just wanted to make sure people who are listening understand how impactful and significant that was. And you found people that want to come learn, and you raised them up and train some of them. Like you said, Brother Antonio, one of them is with the minister right now, experiencing and expressing her abilities through what you all did. So, man, I just would hear that.
Yeah, if I may say, Brother Torrey, because the story, it didn't start out like that. I would say,
I'm sure
the first day that we and thankful to Brother Yaya and Minister Ishmael when we first went the first, well, before the first day we went there, when we was preparing to go there, and we had a few of us, we was there handing out flyers to inform the community that we were coming there about the construction training program. And I was here preparing because we got the orientation, let's say it was Monday, and we going out Saturday or maybe the day before. I don't know. And I'm preparing flyers, but I'm sending out, I think Antonio, a few of the brothers, my children, all of my children, they went out and they handed out flyers. Man, they came back to the house, they arguing with each other, right? What's going on? Man, Antonio, man, I told him, man, that when you hear gunfire, get now. You don't just stay out there, man. You should have got him So we handing out flyers, and in the middle of gunfight.
That's right.
But I said that to say is that when we finish with the orientation, afterwards, a few of the brothers, Antonio mentioned with control, he said, listen, brother, man, what y'all doing? They were there at the orientation, man. We love it and we respect. He said, what happened the other day will never happen again as long as y'all out here, and it never happened again as long as we were out there. But it let me know, I don't know that we were when we were out there handing out flyers, wasn't nobody in uniform. Because as a matter of fact, my children, they're not even registered believers. But I think Antonio was the only one, may have been at that time, from Chicago here. And I had a couple of the brothers from New York. And he was just handing out flyers to the community promoting the program. But exactly what you said, that's the type of neighborhood it was, but it's public housing. And I can tell you the same story that happened in New York. We promoted and opened up program, but our target is always the inner cities. Our target is always the roughest areas. That's our motto. We just follow the motto of in the footsteps of the messenger and our minister. That's our example. Everything we do, that's what we follow, and we experience the success that we are to experience following that path.
Man, beautiful. So, Brother Dave, you were talking about some of the modules, or how you saying about the program and how people can get plugged in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So on what is it? January 18th, we are intending to run a program. So in August, we ran HVAC program, electrical program. We had plumbing, carpentry, and painting. We had started the painting program as well. But the longest programs that we ran were and the most successful programs. Everybody was geared towards the HVAC and electrical, and those programs ran for a while. We experienced a success. We completed level 1 program out of there, but we had a situation out there. I won't go into it right now, but we have ran a couple of more programs. The HVAC, Brother James again completed another HVAC program, and we ran a few construction technology programs out here, which is basically teaching a person how to build a house from the ground up. But with the construction technology program in particular, we'll take or any of your programs, we usually start out as everybody would get the core curriculum, right? And the core curriculum is the basics, right? It teaches them basic safety. We start out with basic safety, then we'll go into construction math, then we'll go into the use of hand and power tools, then we'll go into construction drawings, learning how to read drawings, then we'll go into basic rigging, material handling, and then we have some non-construction trades, but it related to the industry, which is basic communication and basic employability. Once they go through that, that's about 80 hours of training. Once they go through that training, then what we do is give them a little hands-on experience. So we'll bring the instructors in and we'll build a structure from the ground up. So we'll start with masonry. So we'll teach them how to lay blocks. We'll teach them, then we'll frame out of course, the floor joists and the floors and the walls. Then when we do that, we call in the HVAC, mechanic, where Brother James would come in and he would he actually install a furnace with duct work and everything. And then Antonio will come in or Brother Will, they'll come in and teach them electrical and running pipe and then we'll have Brother Marcus will come in, another instructor and teach them plumbing. So this process will usually take like I said, the 3 weeks, the 80 hours. If we run in 5-hour day programs, that would take about 3 weeks for them to go through that, the core curriculum. After every module that I mentioned, Brother Torrey, there's a written exam, and then there's a performance exams, because the classes that we teach are nationally accredited courses, industry recognized credentials that they receive after these programs. So they're tested, written and performance exams. They're tested. So once we finish that whole core curriculum and we build up that structure, the building process, it would take no more than 6 days. So we'll run between 3 to 6 days, depending on what we're doing. And the instructors are not doing anything. They're directing the students or the trainees to build. And I wish I would have given you some of the pictures, of some of the structures that they build. And when they build this, what they do is that they're surprised themselves that, wow. And then when they go to turn on the light or light up the furnace and they see it's working, they like, You know, they actually did it with their own hands.
Right.
So they become they're amazed with that. But one of the things that we see during this process as well is that one person may come with us. We as instructors, we seeing who the natural mason is, or who the natural HV tech is, or who the natural plumber is. Some of us are just natural. So we'll go in and say, man, I want to be an electrician. And they go in that class and you see, nah, you need to be a plumber because that's just a natural. That's what's suitable for. And actually, we have been able to direct them towards the right trade. And then they'll go now to start their plumbing or their electrical or HVAC, well, you know, whatever class that they're actually now, after that process, they actually know what it is that they really are inclined to as well. So we're going to be running in the same, you know, situation. We'll start, you know, with the program like that. We'll have that start out with the core curriculum, then we'll do, you know, build out a little structure. And then from that point, we'll see who's who, and then, you know, to go into the trade. So now the actual trade programs, they differ in as far as the length of time. The programs that we're going to be introducing and opening up on the 18th, again, is the carpentry, the masonry, the painting, the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, welding, and a construction craft laboring program, as well as a construction technology. And again, the construction technology is basically teaching an individual how to build a building from the ground up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, that's beautiful, man. I got people hitting on the Facebook page in all kind of ways. Some I can show, some I can't. But definitely one of the brothers that I want to make sure was watching, man. One of my nephews, Larry, he tuned in. He's excited about what you all are doing. So, man, Larry, man, if you and your people, man, anybody in your family, whenever want to get plugged in, just let me know so we can do whatever we can to make sure that y'all can get into the program. Man, so I love what you all are doing. Of course, Sister Eunice has been chiming in, talking about how important it is for that interpret those construction drawings and hard to find qualified carpenters and tradesmen. So, man, I know you all don't know this about some of my history. This was the 90, maybe 99, 2000. I worked for an organization that was trying to get more Black men and women into the building trades. And we worked with the labor unions, so-called, you know, they talk like they wanted to work and help put us to work, but they really didn't. They really weren't into it. They really didn't. You know, they talked a good game, but never followed through on anything. And what you all are doing is so important because it is what we are taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is to stop begging for opportunities when we can create our own. You all have the skill, you have the compassion and the training and the love, and man, you all are helping to produce some skilled folks, man, that can really go to work now, man. I'm so excited about what you all are doing. So, what are some of the requirements? What do people need in order to get plugged in and take it to the next level? Of course, I want to make sure you all give the phone number, website, right, so people can get more information. But what does it take? What are some of the requirements that they need to have?
Brother James.
Let me know. I've been talking a lot, so let me know if you want me to answer the question, or you can go ahead, Brother James. You can go.
Well, in terms of requirements for the program, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Dave, but I think we take them as young as 17. And you just have to be able to just have, you know, basic writing and reading skills. And, if you're struggling with math, which a lot of us do, that's not a problem. You know, our instructors are well equipped to, to help us with, anything we may have. And even if you, find yourself struggling with reading and writing to an extent, we've had to overcome those obstacles as well. So really, the only requirement is a willing to do and perform. And by Allah's grace, we'll help whoever comes to overcome any impediments they have to get what they came for, you know.
So GD, they just come as they are. If they're ready and willing to learn, we're gonna work with them.
May I, Brother Tor? I know Brother James. One thing I want to stress this to all who listen: come as you are. We don't care if you have a case. We don't care what you're going through in life. Felony. We don't care about none of that stuff. Okay, I don't care what they say. Come to us. We make the change in your life if you really want to become who you want to be. Because we that's one thing about Genesis is a new beginning. The past one stay in the back. It's like I tell my students, normally I make them sit down in the class, then I make everybody come out. And I tell them, no, this is a line now. Outside here, you're a boy, you're a girl. Inside my classroom, you're a man, you're a woman, you're a king, you're a god, you're a queen. Now, if you want to play video games, go through the door again. But if you want to become independent and be the man who got your own life, well, sit in this class and be who you're supposed to be. I say that because I don't want nobody put out this excuse that, oh, I have a record. We all got a record. It's not the record that will keep you down. It's yourself. So come to Genesis. We make it happen.
That's right. What we found, Brother Tori, as well, is that those going through the program have been inspired to go back to, although a GED or high school diploma is not required, they have been inspired to go back and get their, education. We've come, experience where, mothers, come to us with tears in their eyes and seeing how, you got their children sitting in the middle of the projects, reading, their books, preparing to go to, to class. But that's, again, all praise is due to Allah, for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who's teaching, has, we're just experiencing the success of the teaching. That's it. It's just the success of the teaching, and we're giving it, to them in a way that, like I said, we're coming in a way where they can see a way out for themselves as far as financially, because we've always had, the message. But I think our experience in when you put that with giving them an opportunity, not only for employment, because when you teach a man, when you give a man a fish, as they say, he'll eat for a day. But when you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching them how to fish so that you can go ahead and get a job if you want. Now you got a skill. If you want to get a job, you can get a job, and that's fine. And that's what we usually do, find done in the first. But we also, when you have a skill or a trade, you learn to make a job for yourself, because if you're an electrician, somebody needs an electrician. Somebody needs their house painted. Somebody needs some plumbing. So, so you're qualifying yourself, for positions and for to be able to make something, make a way for yourself. So that's the importance of a skilled trade. I don't, you had mentioned, a little while ago, your experience, and with the unions. Yeah, we got our own union, controlled and falling under none of theirs, because we've actually had, it's the same experience, whether it's in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, it's the same experience. And blessed to learn and read The Secret Relationships, between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2, when it talks about the AFL-CIO and how the creation of that organization was created to keep us out of the skilled trades.
Facts.
We heard the minister and we read that at the turn after slavery in the South, we represented probably upwards nearly 90% or so of the skilled tradesmen. And up north, we represented approximately 60-something% of the skilled tradesmen. But that vanished in less than 100 years under the direction of, Mr. Samuel Gompers. That vanished because they had, the slogan, never let a nigga pick up a tool. Yeah. And so we got out of the skilled trades. You know, we were eliminated from the skilled trades and from the unions. So, you know, we say, you know, when you don't, when a door is being closed to you or have been closed to you, you can go ahead and knock on the door and, you know, beg them to open the door. But that's not our way. That's not how we were taught. We were taught to, you know, you can kick in the door if you want, or you can make a door yourself, make your own door, make your own house and let yourself in, give yourself the own opportunity. And that's what we are, Genesis, you know, Construction Training Center. And that's what we believe in. We know that the power is within us. And once we have, after learning that, you know, economics, but prior to learning economics, we first must have a thorough knowledge of yourself as what we're taught. So giving that knowledge of self, receiving it, number one, and then giving it, there's no more excuses. And
right.
the success that we've experienced in has been major. Like I said, it doesn't matter where we go, you know, we have experienced the same results.
Man, I love it, brother. Man, you're absolutely right. And man, I can recall, and I don't know if it was book 1 or 2, part 1 or part 2, but in the secret relationship between blacks and Jews, I remember reading that story about how white people right after slavery were amazed and was looking at this man walking down the street with a hammer, a white man, like he was a naked person walking down the street, because you didn't see anybody but us with the tools to build, because we knew how to build.
That's right.
And they don't get people who didn't know how to build from Africa. We knew how to build these plantations and beautiful houses and edifices. And you have to be right. Then after slavery, they made a concerted effort to make sure that we would teach them, and then they locked us out of it.
That's right.
Man, so I love it. If y'all are just tuning in, or if you want to recap, brothers and sisters, we're talking with Genesis Construction Training Center principals. They're teaching, they're showing us not only the reason why, but giving some very concrete steps to solve some problems that have been happening in our community for a very long time. I do recall, Brother David, too, you had shout out to Eddie Reed with Seabuck and Omar. I remember in the 90s, in the mid 90s, early 2000s, they would go shut down construction sites. If we don't work, nobody work, right? But then as time went on, they was having a challenge with having enough skilled people to take the jobs that they were demanding. That all you, like you said, it wasn't but so many flag jobs to have, right? But it was so many, and all the other jobs, our people weren't skilled enough to be able to take advantage of. So, man, I appreciate what you all are doing. Y'all are solving problems in the community. So, brothers, y'all want to get somebody in your family plugged in and learn carpentry, masonry, painting, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, welding, construction, safety. And like these brothers said, you're not just going to be learning a little bit that you can use to brown your own house, but you're going to be learning and be certified, going from the various phases up to, man, being able to work on whatever you want to work on. And start your own company, start your own construction company, right? Right. Hook up with some investors, man, and start rebuilding the wasted cities. So, man, I appreciate and love y'all. Y'all want to give some closing remarks, and we'll definitely close out.
Yes, so give some closing remarks, brothers. Man, I'll be quiet for that.
Well, one thing I would like to add is that the curriculum that the program is based on is nationally recognized, and the credentials you get is that as well. So what you get here will follow you anywhere you go in the nation. Every module that you finish, you get a certificate and credit for that, and that's something that'll follow you, and you always have. So it's not just something that's localized. Even though we're starting here, but it is national, and what you have will be recognized, and you'll have it, throughout your career, whatever you choose to do. So that's one point I wanted to raise and lift up, is that the curriculum comes from NCCER, is based in that, and those credentials come from there as well, and they are nationally recognized.
Beautiful. We got the website up there, Genesis Training. They can go there and get all the information, right?
Yeah, they can go to go to genesistraining.com, learn, get some more information, but also to register for the upcoming training. They can click on the register button and they can register. Feel free to send an email. We have a I'm seeing, I don't know whether, I get distracted. I told you I don't do the coming up, but I'll leave that for you, Brother Torrey. But yeah, and then we have but the best the option would be to go to register online, and then we will be reaching out to you. But the orientation date is January 18th. The location is still to be determined. We have a facility that we may have ready by then, but if not, then we'll have to use another facility. Another thing that I wanted to mention was, because of COVID-19, the classes will be virtual. This will be our first virtual training for the classroom instruction, for the related instruction. However, the hands-on construction will be, that's not a virtual, will come in probably between once and twice a week to get our hands-on training and instruction. However, like I said before, the classroom instruction will be virtual. We'll be doing it between 2 to 4 days per week, around about 2 hours a night. It's normally two nights a week, but however, we want to expedite the training if possible. We want to be able to finish, because one of the things that the politics of the unions that they have now, they'll take a program that can be finished in a year and drag it out to 4 years because of politics. And we here wanted to be able to people to learn and advance at their own pace. So if they're learning, that's one of the benefits of our curriculum. So if you can finish something in 2 years instead of 4 years, then finish it in 2 years. If you're learn something in 2 years, the hands-on piece instead of 4 years, then or a year, then learn it in that period of time, in that short period of time. Another thing that I wanted just to close out, Brother Torrey, to mention that the program has been registered as an apprenticeship program here in Illinois right now. So it's an official apprenticeship training. So there's credit. All the training hours will be credited with the Illinois Department of Labor as well. As right along with the in the registry, the National Registry of NCCER, which is the National Center for Construction Education and Research.
Man, that's powerful, brothers. I love it. And and whatever facility area you use, you're not gonna do like the building trades do and make it 2 hours away where you can't even get to it on the bus line.
No, we here right in the community. All our programs are right in the community. Like I told you, we was in Argyle Gardens, and we built the classrooms. The actual students built the classrooms, their own classrooms, right in Argyle Gardens. And
go ahead.
Our passion has always been to the community.
Yes, sir. So I think that kind of answers Sister Eunice said about a rehab branch to build a home, but you're doing all the aspects of it.
Yes, the construction technology. I don't know. Maybe she was not on at that point, but the construction technology does that program. That's what it does. It teaches you to build a house or a building from the ground up.
All right, and Sister Sandra D said, "Would love to see a solar panel put more to work. The sun is free."
Well, we do have actually that part of the curriculum. There's a solar program. It's I'm not sure whether we will offer that on this first. We're not going to offer that on this first go round, but if we get enough of those who are interested in it, then we can offer that program as well. The programs that we offer are based on, for the most part, location and the need of that particular community. In the future, we do plan on offering heavy equipment operating classes, but we need the space and the land, the raw, land for that. And but we do have certified instructors to teach the heavy equipment operators as well. So we have over 50 plus craft instructors who are certified to teach just about everything you see in the building trades.
Man, that's beautiful. Okay, so I meant to ask you all this too, so I'm glad Sandra D mentioned it. Explain why you spell Genesis the way you do. Genesis.
Well, that's a good question. Genesis, of course, it's most of us associate that from the Bible, which means the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
In the scripture, however, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and honorable minister Louis Farrakhan is preparing for a new beginning. And but that new beginning is not going to be with the same people who, as this world is going out, it's not the same people. And we're talking about that new beginning is described in the scripture as God's kingdom or the kingdom of God. Yeah, so it's a verse in the scripture which talks about two things. It talks about the kingdom of God is within you and the kingdom of God is at hand. So we're saying we're going to have to, I don't know if the kingdom of God is going to drop out of the sky or it's going to have to be somebody to build that kingdom. And so it's really, really, our mission is very, very, has a spiritual, not as a spiritual component, but it is a spiritual mission. And it's all related to that kingdom. So when you're talking about us, the us is talking about us as our people. When the us come together and start networking and start working together, then we would in turn build, that kingdom of God, or that hereafter that some people may call it. So that's the significance of the us in the I think she put sus, but it's Genesis, but it's us instead of you, instead of IS is US. So the new beginning is going to happen when the us come together and build it.
Man, that's beautiful. Allahu Akbar. So, man, and shout out to Brother Leonard Omar. He was tuning in. He said these are some of the best testimonials ever. And who else mentioned something? So my mother tuned in. She said, teaching like Tuskegee Institute.
That's right. That's our mother.
That's our mother.
That's right. That's right. That's your mother too. That's right.
That's right.
Well, man, I thank you all, brothers. We'll be
thank you, brother.
Man, make sure, brothers and sisters, y'all share this video. Man, when I post the flyer, share the flyer, tell everyone, man, that who needs to hear this, even if you don't think they need to hear, they might be waiting on you to tell them about this opportunity. So, man, we thank y'all for doing it, and we pray for you all's continued success.
And man, we thank you so much, Brother Torrey. It's been an excellent, interview, and we thank you for the use of your platform. And we're looking forward to coming on again and sharing with you some of the successes of the upcoming program.
Let's do that. Absolutely, man. And
yes, sir.
You know what
yes,
it is. This is bean soup times. And as long as I got a bowl of bean soup, you got half.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're going to take it too. We're going to take it too.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes,
so we're going to close out, man. I'm going to close out with our sponsors and advertisers. And we'll be talking to y'all soon, man. I can't wait to hear some of the testimonies.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well,
salam.
All right, brothers and sisters, man. Great show. Great, incredible brothers coming on. And I'm going to talk a little bit while you see some of our supporters and advertisers from Sean Michelle's, the Dan Soul Food and Cafe. Man, Brown Sugar Bakery, that dangerously delicious food they got over there, baked goods. Man, if you are a Muslim, man, join the Black Muslim Business Directory. List your business on there. We're going to make sure Genesis Training is on there. And if you want some good, authentic tacos, man, shout out to Sissy's Taco Bar. And, man, we want to give some love to our brother, Willie Wright with Amaj Motors. Get your vehicle. Right there in Maryville. So it's not that far from Chicago, about 30 minutes outside the south side of Chicago. So with that, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Man, please, again, share this video. and make sure everybody knows everything about it. And yes, ma'am, Sister Eunice, I'm geeked as well, man. Thank you for tuning in, and want each and every one of y'all to have a wonderful day. We're gonna close out with one more message from me to share a little bit about the work that we do. And we hope that if you need some of our services, man, let us know and we'll be there and lickety split. And we'll talk to y'all again real soon.
Greetings. My name is Torrey Muhammad, the founder of Bean Soup Media. We are a content and digital marketing strategy company that empowers the brands of small businesses. We are a passionate team of designers, writers, photographers, and most importantly, problem solvers. And we come together to help you tell your story.
Brother Torrey, you shared a post about our business a few years ago. It's reached almost 50,000 people within about 30 days. Brother Torrey, through yourself, we have had so much media coverage, newspapers. We're talking about the Channel 7, Channel 9. You have brought so much attention to Sean Michelle's homemade ice cream, and I will never stop supporting Bean Soup Times and Black Chicago Eats. And I wish that others will also take a closer look what you have to offer, because we have benefited. Just take a look at Sean Michelle's. Take a look down the street. See the line to the next block. That's as a direct result of the social media that you've posted. That's as a direct result of the live testimonies that you've done at Sean Michelle's. That's as a direct result of the writings that you've written up on Sean Michelle's homemade ice cream. And so God has really blessed you first to have a love for our community, to have a love for black businesses, and one for your brother, which you want for yourself.
In the building with us is Brother Torrey Muhammad. He is the marketing genius behind Sissy's Taco. But Torrey has been one of the pioneers in marketing, black marketing in Chicago. He did the, was it Black, not Black Chicago? Taste of Black Chicago. Doing it like the real, for y'all real marketers out there, bring us the food in the morning. I'm telling you. And then I just had some gummies too. Oh, my cousin. And they warm. I'm telling you, got the studio all smelling up. Paper bags. Torrey Muhammad, you see him, check out Bean Soup Times. Check him out, all of his clients. Also, let me tell you what, he also represents Sean Michelle, right? So check him out. Ooh. He's also, man, I know they let me tell you what, shout out to Sean Michelle. You know, I'm an ice cream connoisseur. Mm-hmm. So I love their ice cream, but boy, that line, good Lord, you got to park and wait and sit there and it'd be like down the block. Shout out to, and he also is a writer over at The Final Call, right? So Brother Torrey Muhammad, extensive history, doing it like the marketing directors. We need to get you a gym shoe contract next, so you can bring the gym shoes in too. But I'm gonna tell y'all what, Sissy's Taco Bar doing their thing, popping up on a Friday. We're gonna be smashing these on air. Torrey, thank you so much, my brother.
You guys, Brown Sugar Bakery has been using Bean Soup Times since 2009. We established our Facebook page 11 years ago. Look at that. We've grown as a company, and with Bean Soup Times, he's always been looking out for us and enticing all of you. I love you, Torrey, for enticing my wonderful customers that are both Facebook fans and Instagram fans. I highly recommend Bean Soup Times, especially if you're brand new to social media or relatively new to social media, because Torrey will make sure that he kindly and patiently walks you through getting up to speed online.